Hi, I'm Sifi. I talk to researchers about what drives them and what they're passionate about. What is your name and what are you currently studying?
My name is Federico Benazzo, and I'm currently studying aerospace engineering as a PhD student. I'm a fourth year student at Caltech in the Space Structures Lab.
How do you approach learning something completely new?
I like to go straight to the source. If it's something new, I tend to look it up and see if there is somebody here in the same university where I'm studying that is an expert in it.
Mhm.
If it's brand new, I don't know anything about it, I go straight to them and ask them questions. Clearly, that can't be done in all occasions because it can be asking too much of many people. But the other resource is usually finding out as much as I can on the internet about it, see if there is any great literature sources, as these days it's a bit hard to usually understand what is fake, what is real, and so exactly understand what's the best source to
Yeah.
get that from.
What's one habit or mindset that has helped you grow most as a student?
I think in order to grow as a student, probably one of the most important things is to not forget what you've done in the past and also not forget how you've learned things in the past because
Mhm.
clearly people learn in different ways. Making sure that you remember what things have worked well and what things haven't worked well is quite important. So I think definitely reminding yourself of how you learn well is crucial and then readapting that to different problems that you approach.
How do you stay curious or keep your interest alive over time?
Doing a very long project, like 6 years of a PhD program, there's many times where you can hit a low, and curiosity and staying active in your research and wanting to do can be quite difficult. So I think it's important when you get stuck over issues to have a little plan B of things that you might be interested in, but you didn't have time and are connected to what you're studying. And that can take you away from the big issue that you have at hand, that you can then go back to it with a clearer mind and stay alive in your curiosity.
What keeps you motivated to keep learning, especially when things get difficult?
Just stopping work for a minute, doing things like sport that you can come back to it with a fresher mind and also cooperate and ask other people who have had similar issues.
What's something you're working on right now that you're really excited about?
My research right now involves basically trying to scale up the manufacturing of large space structures. Something that I'm very excited about is this machine apparatus that I'm putting together. The main part of my PhD thesis, and I'm really curious to see how it's going to shape out and when it fully works, what I'm going to be able to make with it.
What are the primary sources of funding for your research?
My research is almost fully funded by the Caltech Space solar project, a generous amount of money that was given to our lab and with other two labs to basically make this future vision of solar power beamed back to Earth possible. And that's most of my funding.
Who is your supervisor and how have they influenced your academic journey?
My supervisor is Professor Pellegrino. Known him now for more than 4 years. I think his influence has been both to show me how to be a good researcher and in what ways one can investigate science, to be methodical and looking into detail. But I also kind of see how he approaches problems and try the opposite way. We're kind of working as a team in my current project, and I think it's important to have different visions and different ideas to solve issues, both trying to be more similar to him, but at the same time go the other way to try and see if there's other solutions.
What's the best advice someone has given you?
Some of the best advice I've ever received to just stay focused and determined. Make sure that when you have a problem, almost everything can be solved. Being determined, making sure that you can stick to that path is important. And when you're hitting a low, maybe changing and pivoting a little bit to take some time and then going back to the main issue again.
How do you usually meet new people around campus?
Most of the time, it's just from something that I need for my project. So that's kind of like the more academic side of where I need a certain machine, I need to learn something, and I go and ask. And so I meet people. And then otherwise, there's a lot of social occasions that are organized among students, and I always love to chat and see what other people are doing.
What do you do after accomplishing a long term dream? How do you figure out what's next?
I've gotten to Caltech, which was a great dream, but the next thing came straight away, which was to complete my project and do all my classes and whatnot. So I haven't yet had time to discover what I want to do next, but sort of looking ahead for when I will finish my project and I will be looking ahead. I think it's a matter of considering what things you've done well so far in life and what things have worked out well, what things you think you enjoy particularly doing, and try and find a path that allows you to do those things that you like for the rest of your life.
What does the balance between working hard and working smart look like for you in practice?
It usually comes down to taking a minute before making a decision and just thinking it through, making sure that, especially if you have to repeat it many times, that doesn't become a working hard that will take many weeks. And then when that step back has been taken, then making the right decision to sort of minimize the time spent to maximize the final result.
How do you think your research will make an impact in this world?
My hope is that my research can enable further space exploration, mainly by being able to have much bigger structures in space than is possibly capable, because ultimately we know the way we're going to launch things into space is going to be the same for many, many decades, and we need to find ways to have ever larger laboratories, instruments in space, and I hope that I can help making that happen.
What strategy do you use to maintain a healthy work life balance?
That usually comes down to listening to my girlfriend and making sure that I'm not spending all my time doing research, but also, finding hobbies, sports that can keep you healthy. At times, even though you're so excited about your research and you want to keep on going and you want to make it happen, knowing that you need a break, because ultimately that's what's going to make you actually last the longest and not have a burnout. So I think making sure to find things that you enjoy and to take the time to do those.
That was great. Thank you so much.